by chance?
You said repost the
Well, I was gonna repost the link, but I don't know.
just
I
put it in the
don't.
comments, I guess, maybe.
Let me see. It's on my phone. Let me see. 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 Sorry about that, y'all. Absolute technical difficulty night, apparently. I apologize. I don't know if this is going to let me pull the damn link. Okay, let's see what happens here. This off.
Mm. Oh yeah, link got to be somewhere.
Gee. Okay. I got the link posted. I
Found it.
am so sorry. I don't know what the heck happened. But I
No.
reshared the new stream, and the new StreamYard link is over back on the Free Thinkers group page. I don't know if it went to my page. So if you are getting the YouTube update or the Facebook update, there is a new StreamYard link. So I am sorry about that. Hopefully, Ivory will be able to come back over here and join us this evening. I'm going to copy. All right, but back to your question about the 10K a month to do nothing or 100K a month, 100K a month to work 6 days a week, 12-hour days. Like, to somebody's point in the comments, like there's many of times in my life when you're a business owner that you work 6 days a week, 7 days a week. Oftentimes those are weeks and weeks and weeks unpaid, right? Even though you do it because you love what you do and you love what your business is, right? You don't have a life when you're working 6 days a week. You don't. And like, as a single parent, there's no fucking way. There's just no way. Like, I can't keep up and I can't do what needs to be done on a now level. Like, I couldn't imagine if I was literally doing 12-hour days, 6 days a week by myself, 3 children, one is a diabetic. Like, I would fucking die. $100,000 to me would not be worth it. The quality of life that my family lives would only be contingent around the fact that we have fucking money, but we're miserable. So I'd take the $10,000 and I make that work, because really any dollar,
I could take that 10,000. I could take a piece of that and I could start investing and starting. If I want to do my business on my time and on my terms, I can build that. I could just sit on it or whatever. But I think to your point is, especially the older you get, you realize how valuable time is, and you don't. What's really more valuable than time? I don't think you realize that when you're younger, but at a certain, you're like, no, time is the most precious commodity that we have. Now,
you don't get that back,
right. So let me take this to a different place. Now that's kind of living comfortable versus living well. Both of these are rich scenarios. So in that case, I probably know the answer that you're going to give me, but let's do it anyway. Would you rather be a world famous person worth $100 billion? So basically, we're talking about you on Jeff Bezos type level. and everybody know you, or be unknown with an N that I didn't put on there. Be unknown and worth 100 million.
Oh, I'd be an unknown millionaire. I'd be cool with the unknown millionaire. I don't need billionaire
I just thought of something else
status problems. No,
Right,
I'd be happy with the fucking nobody unknown millionaire. Yeah, I'd be good for that.
Okay, so I was easily with you when I first thought of this question. Don't ask me
why. Like, but my mind changed.
Now, yeah. So now on the flip side, you can do a lot of things with $100 million, and you can live. You can live very well, but how well you live is going to radiate around you and probably your direct family, close friends that you know. That's probably going to be the extent of how much you can help people. You know, Hammer was worth $30-40 million and he lost it all trying to help the whole hood. He couldn't help the whole hood. Didn't work.
I don't have a whole hood. I got my it's aimed at like Nikki, 2.5 of us. I ain't got a lot.
But Nikki,
I ain't got a lot. We're gonna make this thing stretch, baby.
But hold on, Nikki. $100 billion. You can make some world change off of that. You can end hunger in countries. You can get rid of, look, ain't gonna be no more hoods. We're gonna clean up all of the ghettos and all of the hoods and make sure no kids ever starve again. And we can do all of this.
That would be great, but they're not gonna let that happen.
You in the 1%. You will have the power and
there's still more of them than there are of me, and my agenda completely rubs against their agenda. They would not let that happen.
You would have
they would not let that happen.
You'd have the power to fight it. How they gonna tell you how you?
There's still more of them than there would be of me.
You could pay to get the
because if that's the case, billionaires would have been done that by now.
They are the 100
billionaires would have been done.
No,
we're like
not talking about
by
Oprah
now.
Billion.
They come up missing.
No, well, yeah, that too, but
nah, she's part of the establishment, anyways. Her ass don't even count.
No, listen, what I'm saying is Oprah is a broke billionaire. Michael Jordan is a broke billionaire. Jay-Z is a broke billionaire. These are on the bottom. These the bottom of the barrel billionaires.
8 billion, 4 billion, 7 billion.
When you talking
single digit billionaires.
Yes. Now you talking about Bezos and Elon Musk. That's a whole different level. That's like me saying I got $20 and you saying I got $2,000, and I'll be like, oh, okay, let's go live it up tonight. I'm like, we not balling the same. That ain't even just because we both got some green in our hand. That ain't the same type of green. No, you can do some world changing billionaires, like 100 billion. That's a different type of billionaire.
But it's a different type of problem too when you're famous.
So okay, Nikki, that's what I'm saying though.
It's not
worth you be willing I don't to take on those problems personally? It's gonna mess your life up.
Your life, your children's life, your whole entire legacy is definitely will never be able to help alone.
So many more. You'll be able to improve the lifestyle of so many more people who never had a chance.
I hear that. Like,
nope.
that doesn't mean that you can't still create. That doesn't mean that you still can't create a significant ripple with $100 million. And at the end of the day, what I have left as my legacy to my children is far more valuable to me than lands and lands and lands and lands worth of people that, you know, I don't know if I have access to touch, if I have access to be able to make a difference, to be able to hold what it takes to keep the change progressive. Because I mean, as we see how gentrification works, you can do all the fucking things you could possibly do. If they want what they want, they're going to take it. So I could spend my whole entire life and my children be miserable, fuck their whole lives up, fuck my life up. Like, being a celebrity status fucking ruins people, right? So I could have, my whole entire life turned upside down, but I got a little bit of money and I'm making some maybe change somewhere. I just don't know for me and my currency if that's time well spent, because it's time.
So, okay, let's say, for instance, you go to the worst neighborhoods all throughout America and Africa and India and China, and you're able to give them clean water. You're able to put hospitals in places where to give electricity, do like Akon, getting electricity and internet in places that never have it. Like, so it's you and you. I'm sitting up here messing around trying to play devil's advocate, and I mess around and change my own mind. There's nothing about me that would desire fame or to be world renowned or known to where you can't walk the streets, can't just go get a bite to eat. Like that's the worst type of that's a bad type of imprisonment, to be, kind of trapped to where you just can't move around the way that you want to. But I would be willing, I changed my own mind. I'd be willing to do it for the sake of the amount of people I could help. I'm not going to sit on $100 billion. If I got $100 billion, I'm going to find out what's the most effective way to give away $90 billion. And to not just give it away hand in money.
That much money.
It's they're lying. They do that when they go into war. They spend that amount of money.
Right. True.
But what I'm saying is, you can go to places and you can underdeveloped places. That money could be used for for a good reason. Think about all the job creations. I go to every poor neighborhood. I'd make businesses that would give opportunity. I'd make banks that would give equal lending opportunities, and have grants for people who have business ideas. And I'd just give opportunities to empower people in ways that I just couldn't do. You can't do that with 100 million, but yeah, with 100 billion, I could do that. And I would, I'd risk myself. I mean, not risk, but I'd sacrifice myself, because now you just can't move the same way. I never would want to be world renowned famous like the Michael Jackson, Jay-Z. I never want to. I'd love to have their money, but like that type of fame and recognition is not appealing to me at all.
No, imagine never being able to leave your house without being exposed, or your children never being able to have a normal life. Like, your whole entire family is going to have an absolutely abnormal life for the duration of their life because of your notoriety. Like, when I see celebrities' kids, I'm just like, God, these poor fucking kids. Like, literally, I feel horrible for their children. They know no different. Like, this is normal to them, and this is not like a normal way for a kid to grow up. So the famous thing, it's too much for me. I don't like people enough to be famous. Doing something with the money would be great, but I would still like to believe, in my heart, I would maximize my 100 million to be able to make effective change in places where I could make a solid, effective change that would be long term and sustainable.
Yeah,
I could do that. I would do that.
Preference, but if that was actually presented, I'd really have to think about that. That'd be a tough one. Everything about me would want to be like, no, just let me stay under the radar. Okay, what you got, Nikki?
Right, let me be unknown. Let's see. You have some good ones. Simple. Would you rather steal? Yeah. Would you rather steal, or would you rather be stolen from? Would you rather steal, or would you rather be stolen from? Would you rather be a thief, or would you rather be somebody who's been thieved? Would you rather steal, or would you rather be stolen from?
It's so vague, because you're not telling me what it is that you.
There's no parameters. You could be a thief of any crooked ass sort, right? But if you take it from somebody else, it's not yours. Or would you rather somebody take from you?
I'd rather steal.
You'd rather steal?
Because you know what?
You'd rather steal?
I'd be a good thief. That's why.
I'd be a good thief.
I'm not gonna produce violence.
I could be a good thief too.
I'm gonna take some from somebody who ain't really missing it and they don't need it. I'd be a good thief.
Oh, God.
I try my best to steal in a way that they don't even know that it's gone.
I see. I knew a thief like that. I would rather be stolen from.
I don't. That is. Oh my God.
I'd rather
violation. I hate being.
It is, and I've been stolen from. I've actually been. I've been stolen from, and it was a very deceptive experience. And when I started to realize that it was who I thought it was, I confronted this person, and they damn near made me grovel about how bad, shame on me for asking. How dare I? How could I accuse them of such? To then find the motherfucker was the one that actually stole like thousands of dollars worth of individual items over a course of time, right? Mm-hmm. So I've been stolen from. It's an absolutely violating fucking experience, but I would rather me be stolen from than me be the one that has to rest on my spirit that I did somebody dirty, that I stole from somebody else. Now, corporate, I'll steal from a corporation all fucking day long, but from a person, never. Like, I could never steal from a person.
Yeah. No, I'd go ahead and I'll be a safe thief.
He said I'd be the thief. He said I can pull it off.
Do it in a good way.
If someone's stealing from you, then that means you're already blessed. Well, yep. I mean, I don't think being stolen from is blessed,
but they're saying that what they're trying to say is you got it for it. You got it for it to be taken from you. But no, I've been stolen from and I've been dead broke. And I'm like, man, that's it's rough. It's already rough out here in these streets, and y'all trying to get me some more.
Have you ever stolen something? Right? Have you ever stolen something and have no remorse whatsoever?
I used to steal all the time. I used to be a thief in high school. I was steal. I did a lot of retail. No, you know what? I didn't steal from people. I didn't steal from.
You was the poster?
No, I just stole. I wasn't even reselling it. I was just stealing, looking fly, getting clothes, shoes, whatever. Certain places I knew that they had they didn't have good security or surveillance, and I was like, oh, I could do this easy.
Man, see, I knew always if I was a thief and I got caught stealing, my dad would have fucking killed me. My dad would have mopped the street with my face. So I had a fear. My dad always said, I'm gonna put the fear of God in you, right? And so he always did. And my dad's name was Dan. So my whole entire life, my dad, I always grew up with my dad calling himself, he would call himself God, right? Good old Dan. So, like, I grew up knowing my dad would put his fucking paws on me if I was a thief. And growing up in a system of recovery, like you just you change your path to your course of action, right? So like behaviors and shit that you did when you was in active addiction and recovery, like you don't do those things anymore if you want to maintain this path to recovery and enlightenment, right? So like it was definitely taught that that's not no fly ass shit. And we didn't have money growing up. So like I definitely wanted to steal. Like there was things where I'm like, no one would ever fucking catch me like if I stole this. But I knew if I got caught, I would be in so much trouble. And I was mortified to let my parents down, to let my dad know. So stealing, I will go without, but like, no. Stealing is not for me. I could, because I've been stolen from, I could never steal from somebody else. That would fuck me up. But like I said, corporate, steal some groceries, steal some fucking water, steal some gas, steal some lights, steal some utilities. Yeah, I'll steal all that shit.
Yeah. So, okay. might be one of my last ones. And that's a good one for you, Nikki. I thought of you as soon as I saw this.
Oh, God.
Would you rather give up AC and heat for the rest of your life or the internet? And we live in Texas. So we live in Texas. You gotta think about that.
So we have to stay in Texas? Would you rather give up AC and heat?
Don't say you got to. I know.
Give up AC and heat or
you know what?
internet.
No, see, it don't say. I just said we live in Texas, but now that you said that, I could move to California. California, you don't really need heat or AC. It stays pretty similar.
Seasonable year round.
Cheap. That's a cheap one. That's a cheap. But under that scenario, which one would you do? We might change the scenario.
I love the idea. I actually love the idea of getting rid of the internet. I do. I think that
for the rest of your life.
Well, I guess. Yeah, so I guess I should differentiate, right? Like there's a difference between the internet and social media. The internet, I think, is a phenomenal tool for sharing information. I love what the internet does, for us as a society, providing information and being able to share information. Social media, I think, is absolutely decrepit part of society. I would rather go without AC and heat, I think, than lose the ability to freely share information across massive, massive platform of people. You think about how quickly you can get a message to somebody in China right now, or how quickly you can get a message to somebody in Africa right now, or how quickly you can get a message to somebody goddamn on the moon right now, right? But
let me take it a step further though.
I could deal with AC
moving forward, it's gonna how would you operate without? So now that means you can't use Cash App, you can't use Venmo and other things like that. And now it's coming to a place where
you can't email.
Cash is going to be obsolete soon. So if you don't have the internet in order to, I guess you could just you can have a Cash App card, but you just wouldn't be able to use the internet to. I don't know. You have to go to an ATM just to find out how much money you got.
None of those things are going to work. They're all based on the internet. They're all based on access to the internet. None of those things are going to work.
I'm not saying that. The ATM. I'm saying you can't have access to using the internet, as in tablets, computers, smartphones, anything to where you interact with the internet directly. Now, you can still use ATM machines and stuff like that, but you just cannot use any computer, smartphone, anything on the web. You just wouldn't have access to it. It'd be like did you ever watch White Noise on Black Mirror? Did you ever watch that one?
I think so. I think I've seen. I think maybe. How was it?
The one where they could mute the person out to where you couldn't see them anymore.
Maybe I didn't see that one.
Oh shoot! All right, we might have to do another Black Mirror series, and that's
all right. Let me write that down on my list. White Noise.
You know what? I think that was one of my favorite ones, but I think it was just so long that I was like, I don't know.
I don't feel like I've ever heard you mention this one before.
It was called it was something. It was either White Noise or something. But anyway, yeah, that's maybe my favorite one. It was kind of long though, so I'm like, I don't know if we can how to have a conversation about it, but that's gonna be the first one we do. Our another Black Mirror series. That's gonna be the first.
Okay.
So you said no. I don't know how it would be possible for you to stay in Texas with no AC.
Yeah,
I just don't know brutal.
It was pretty fucking brutal.
I mean, and it's going to be in the 90s to 100 from March to October.
But at the same time, how could you last in, say, Minnesota in the winter either, right? So there's obviously dynamics of both sides of the climate spectrum here.
So the only way I could say that, I'd have to move to California. That'd be the only way I think that because it stays in that 60 to 80 range all year round. That will be the only. I think that's the only way. Now, if you said no, you got to stay where you live, then I just don't think it's possible to live unless I just get to I have to just go to restaurants and go other places where they got AC. I just could never stay at home until I go home at night.
But to that point too, like this past summer that we experienced, that we're still experiencing, it's fucking 99 today. Like this is not normal climate. So if you would have asked this same question, say even 5 years ago, I didn't have a fucking air conditioner in my car for 2 years. I went 2 summers with no AC. Was it hot and miserable? Yeah. Did I wear like 2 different shirts every day? Definitely. But could I pull it off? Yes, I could. There's no way I could have pulled off no AC this last fucking summer. There's just no. There's literally no way.
The last 2 years has been like stupid to me. I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah, absolutely. So like this question could have easily been different 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But it also could have been different because internet wasn't as valuable to people 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So people might have said, fuck the internet, I'll keep my heat and my AC. But today, I think, like I thought about that earlier today when I was just, looking at a bunch of conspiracy shit on Instagram. I was like, as much shit as we talk about social media, like the ability for us to have access to people and places we would never have had access to is pretty spectacular. I love that part about the internet.
It's, I love oh my gosh, so much. I literally live across the country from most of the people I love, and I don't feel the distance. I can see them, not just talk to them on the phone, but I can visibly see them, interact with them, even through social media, see pictures, see what they're doing, live stream. I can watch, my dad preaching up there anytime I want to. I can watch, the family reunion. I could like anything I want. Then it closes the distance to where it doesn't. And even a lot of my distant cousins and people like that, I'm so much closer than them than I could. When I first moved down here in 1999, I remember going to the gas station to go get the phone card to get my minutes on it, so I could make long distance calls back home. And I'd be mad because they surcharge you for it. Oh, y'all giving me 1,000 minutes, but every time I make a call, the surcharge cost me 50 minutes, and then that was like, that was tough, and I had to keep going back.
It cost a grip to actually call long distance. It was like $5 a minute, $4 a minute, $2 a minute, like. But think about how back in the day, like I remember people saying that they would call to Mexico and it was like $20 a minute type shit. And I couldn't even grasp the concept of that, right? And now you can't even imagine paying, with the exception of international calls. Ain't nobody paying no long distance phone calls.
And we don't even have to do that. Think about, Imran get on with us. Imran is all the way, in India somewhere.
The Middle East somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
We over here.
All you need is the internet and some WhatsApp or some, some text or some phones.
It's daytime over there where he at right now. It's like, oh man, okay.
Right.
That never would have been possible 20 years ago. It's like, it's crazy.
No. Without the internet. Do you want to look at Dimitri's question?
We talk to people in Atlanta, New York, and California. We could all sit down and just have a conversation, and not just one-on-one. I'm talking to you on my long distance. Like we all can sit here like we're in a room together and have a conversation. That's crazy, and it's awesome at the same time too.
That's the dopeness of the internet. Like the internet, you cannot say the internet was not a good tool.
It's crazy. It's the way that you use it.
What I love is that we're from the generation though that was like we were raised during the time the internet was born. So we actually are that last generation that remembers what life was like before we had the internet versus once it was born, and now our lives moving forward with the internet. Can you imagine not having internet? Like I remember before internet, obviously, but it's weird to me to think of the old ways that we would retrieve information and how that would just not work today.
I had to pull out them encyclopedias.
encyclopedias, a dictionary.
I used to listen to them encyclopedias all the time too. I used to read them all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. You said this was who did I just see?
Demetrius had a comment. She had an idea.
This is the one right here.
The contentious partner.
Okay, so would you rather be married to a contentious woman or man forever, or lose a limb and limb you choose? Does your pinky toe count as a limb?
I know, right? Like, how much of a limb do we have to go?
Well, you know, if we fingers, I lose a finger or a toe if I need to.
Right. I'm cool with a pinky tip, with a tip of a pinky. I'm all right with that.
Now, certain I'm not. That's about far as I'm not cutting off a foot or hand.
No. I'm not even gonna go a whole pinky finger. I'll just go like the little tip. You can have my fingernail, and I'll let you get that.
You can take the pinky if it's that. You can take the pinky.
No.
Listen,
because I do not want a contentious partner.
I've been in some tough relationships, and I ain't going back to that under no circumstance.
No, God, no. Contentious, just somebody who likes to argue, who wants to be challenging, who wants to get under your skin. Like, why do you want to be that person, first of all? What is wrong with you? Contentious people who strive to be that way. Why? Why do people do that? Take my fucking finger. That's right. You know, you can have the whole pinky. I said you can have the pinky tip. You can take the whole fucking finger.
The pinky toe is very small, and at my age, I don't need my pinky toe no more.
Yeah, I'm good. Look, I'm already short a toenail most of the time anyway. What's a pinky?
Let's start saying your enemy get to choose what limb. Now your enemy gonna take your head
that's
off.
Too much control. My options. Hell no.
They gonna like, yeah, give me I'm gonna take your head. I was like, can't live without my head. Well, that ain't my problem.
Guess we finna fight. No, buddy.
I do it for pinky toe.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, you got what we got? We got 5 minutes. You got one more?
Let's see. Would you rather? Well, I just read through all of them. We've kind of hit a few of them, or we've kind of like sidestepped and talked about some other ones. Would you rather confess, or would you rather keep a secret? And I didn't make any specifics about what the secret was, but let's just say it is that big of a secret that if you told it, it would be life-changing. So would you rather be somebody who has to confess and hold the secret?
Hell no.
Or would you rather tell the secret?
Keep a secret.
You keep the secret?
If you knew how many secrets I was keeping right now, I keep secrets well. I keep secrets so well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
I agree with you there. I'm a very good secret keeper.
Yeah, I'm going to take shit to the grave or the urn, wherever I go when it's all said and done, and things will go with me then.
Oh, okay. Let's go real quick. Would you rather be buried or cremated?
Cremated, hands down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving my kids all the rules. You know why though? The reason I want to be cremated, well, I mean, there's a million reasons, but my main reason for wanting to be cremated is because I don't want my children to ever feel like they have to be stuck where I'm buried. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people don't leave home because that's where their mom and dad are buried, right? Like, no, I want my kids to fucking not let that be the reason why they feel stuck somewhere. So y'all divide me up, put me in bracelets or what. I don't give a shit what you do with me after I die, to be completely honest. Spend the least amount of money possible and go. Like, I don't want them stuck. And I don't have any religious ties or, sacrimonious reasons why burial is something that I would, prefer. So I'm cool with cremation.
The reason that you gave, that was a great reason. You think you swayed me a little bit on that one.
Really?
Not that I had a preference. No, I don't think I have a preference. I'm really somewhere in the middle.
Really?
But if I'm gonna so this is what I tell people. See, now one of my issues is a lot of time people, you don't look when you die and they do all the embalming and fixing you up, there's been so many funerals I went to and the person don't look like themselves.
Right.
And so then this is what I'll tell people, which will be the expensive way if I wanted to go that one. Like, all right, go ahead, bury me, get the casket, this and this and that. If you get there the day before and it don't look like me or whatever, 3-4 days, and they're like, nah, that don't look like you. All right, go ahead, throw them in the oven. Let's go.
That feels so traumatic to me though, because like now I have to make this decision, even though I know you're already dead. Like I went from seeing you to it's not you to, oh God, now they got to burn what's left of you. Like that feels so traumatic to me. I don't like open caskets. I don't like open caskets.
Like I think maybe the last, no, it wasn't the last funeral, but one of the last funerals. I went to my grandmother's funeral, my first grandmother. Mm-hmm. And when I got home, I came to Illinois and I went to the funeral home. We was going to view the body. It was either a day or two before the actual funeral. And within, I probably got within 12 to 15 feet of the casket. And even from a distance, I could tell it didn't look like her. And I didn't go any closer. I was like, no, that ain't her.
Right.
So even at the funeral, I didn't go up there to do any last viewing or anything like that. At the funeral home, from a distance, I took a glance and I'm like, no. And that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm fine with, I'd rather remember her. I know what she looked like in here.
That part.
I'd rather that be my memory versus what I almost saw, in that case. I'm like, nah, that's not the last visual memory I want of her.
Right. And to that point, I think about my dad dying, right? And like we were literally there up until the second that he passed. And that day, hospice knew that was going to be his day. And so knowing what they know now about how you can tell when a body is going to give out and when a body is, this is it. This is the last day. Like I as the survivor of that, right, as the child of that, I would almost rather have not seen him his last day, because there are distinctive things that happened in that day that I cannot get out of my fucking mind. And to me, those things are associated with physical pain, right?
Right.
Reality, I know my dad was so fucking doped up for the first time in 35 years that he hopefully didn't feel anything. Right. But me not knowing always leaves that in my mind. Fuck, I hope he felt nothing, right? So I like the open casket thing, like just is weird to me, because with the exception of watching somebody pass, yes, your last memory is whatever your last memory was. And if it had been days, weeks, months, years since you last celebrated with somebody, at least that's what you have in your brain, as opposed to my kids, unfortunately, and I asked them, I let them know that, their grandmother was going to have an open casket. It's very traditional. And, that was very new and very different and very, like, that was like, we don't have a lot of death in our family. We don't have a lot of people. Right. We don't go to funerals. Like, we don't do stuff like that. And so them, having not seen her for like 2 years or a year prior to her passing, then their first time seeing her as, older teenage kids, it was like, oh, she's no longer alive. Like, and I feel like that's one of those images that they're gonna fucking be stuck with, like I was stuck with,
right,
seeing the things I saw my dad's last day of his life. So burial, open casket, nah. Once it's over, it's over. Let's move pain into the next stage of healing and dispose of the body, because obviously it's got to go somewhere. But nah, cremate me. I'm cool with that. And you know what? I read that I heard something that if you like, and of course I don't know all the bits and pieces of this, but if you like own property and like you bury somebody on your property,
I heard about
that you can like claim your property as a fucking graveyard now, and like you don't have to pay taxes or all these different things. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm sure my HOA wouldn't allow you to bury somebody in the backyard, but I wonder like what the validity to this
you can find me, but once they're down there, what you gonna do?
Right. You gotta prove them in the backyard.
That's right. How they even gonna know? Yeah, in the backyard, how they even gonna know until it's too late?
Right. Well, no, they don't know. Right. Yeah, but I heard about that and I was like, I need to look into that. That's interesting. Because I mean, realistically,
it's a lot of
you think about the business of death is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like, why do I have to go to a graveyard? Why do I have to go in a coffin? Like, I get it, like sanitary things, whatever, right? But like back in the day, you were in a wood pine box and you were put in the ground. Like, eventually your body decomposed, the box eventually broke apart, decomposed. Like, why do you have to go the route that we go today? When it cost $500 for them to pick my dad up, and I think $600 for them to cremate him, and like all of these things. That's like, holy crap, there's a lot of money involved in the business of death.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if you obviously cremate, well, I don't know. Hell, back in the day, they just threw you on the pile and they lit the pile on fire and out went your spirit.
Yeah.
I'm okay with all that. I don't think my children will want to light me on fire, but you know.
That gives finality. I mean, that's
yeah.
I mean, it's similar to cremating. Just put you in an open fire versus a furnace.
Period.
But
yeah. Well, and then I guess you don't know with open fire either, obviously. But like, side note, my dogs were cremated when they died. First dog passed, and you know, her remains came back as, you know, whatever, right? She was a 80-pound dog. Wasn't a lot of remains, but you know, it's a little sandwich bag full of dog ashes. A year later, her sister passes. So we had these dogs for 15 and 16 years. Had these dogs since they were puppies. So a year later, her sister passes. She was about half the size of sister. Took her to go get cremated. Bring her back, much smaller bag, much smaller box, much smaller container. I was like, damn, big difference when you know, are just ash and bones, right? We open up the box, we start looking at the ashes. We're just curious, right? Just let's see what the dog bones and shit look like in the bag of the cremation and whatnot. Find the dog tag. Like, oh shit, her dog tag is still in the bag of ashes. We looking through the plastic bag and I'm moving ashes around the dog tag. Why this dog tag in this bag don't belong to my dog? I don't know whose dog's ashes I have.
Oh, that's messed up. They just throwing random ashes out there. They're like, man,
we got somebody that scooped up the ashes, put them in a bag, and sold us to that shit for $200. I said, you got to be kidding me. I was supposed to take them back at that time, but I was like, it's already over. It's a wrap. Like, I'm good. Like, it's whatever. But I was like, this is not our
dog. That's messed up. They're sloppy on that one. Yeah, you should have got all your money. But you don't know
that's what they're not doing with people.
They probably are. How would you know?
Yeah. But like when you do cremations, you don't have no guarantee that they've finished one body per burn. You know what I'm saying? There could be a pile of ashes down there at the bottom of the furnace, and they just scooping up and they telling you this your parents, this your granny, this your kid, this your whoever.
Put several bodies in there and I ashed them all up and just scooped them all together and like.
And I'm sure that there are I'm sure that they have procedures that they're required to follow for state codes and whatnot.
Who's standing there watching it and who's gonna
right.
So, yeah.
But I will say, I believe that the ashes that are in the urn at my sister's house of my dad definitely contain my dad, or enough of my dad, because my dad is oftentimes there's a spirit of him at my sister's house and she's got the ashes. So I definitely believe that there must be enough of his big old body in that urn somewhere.
Yeah.
What do we got here? What do we got there?
I said, Tyus, have you ever lost a pet? Yeah, I actually lost my dog. What was it that was last year. We had the dog. My wife had the dog for wow. It was probably 16, about 15, 16 years. Little sugar. Yeah, lost her last year. That was rough. I missed that little baby. Missed that little cantankerous dog. She has such an attitude.
That's how I'll be when our dog now passes away.
If you did something she ain't like, then she'd purposely do something to get back at you.
And this is a female dog?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny because my male dog is very spiteful.
Mm-hmm.
My females were cool as shit, but my male dog, and he's little too. My females were bigger dogs. My male dog, little ankle biter, he's a spiteful little shit. He likes to talk shit.
Yeah, I had a little shit too.
That's my dog. What is going on?
All right. So well, funny. I think we hit our time.
That's a cool conversation. I appreciate that one. And those of y'all who was following us and throwing some suggestions in the comments, we appreciate you and for coming on the part 2 after I got kicked off part 1. I apologize about that. So maybe next week we'll get to ask the questions and then some.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of stuff on the page right now. So if you haven't been to the Facebook page, go over there. There's a bunch of conversations. There's a bunch of posts. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. A lot of current events, a lot of topics. So definitely join us over there. And then consider joining us next Tuesday. We'll be here same time next week, 8 o'clock.